Hey, what's up? It's me, Elay, E-L-A-Y, pronounced like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. I'm coming at you with another YouTube channel, of course, the Dragon Comb. Bam, D-R-A-G, Dragon Comb. You know, that's that. The purpose of this is, of course, about hair, so I'm going to just dive right into it now that I have some time. And it's just in regards to African American hair, black hair. You know, I remember growing up, and I never realized until I think I got to elementary when we moved to a different district, a different side of town, where it was more, I guess, middle class, middle class, and more upper middle class than and everything else above that. That's where we moved. 91, 92. So I really didn't realize the condition or the texture or the state of my hair until we moved environments, until we moved locations that were drastically, distinctively different from the inner city, to which I did like. I really didn't start having self-image issues until we moved out into the suburbs that were a mixed suburb per se. It had its fair amount of African Americans and white people, but I still could feel the stank of "we don't want you here." But they weren't acting out. I did feel safe, but emotionally safe? H no. I would have taken physical harm over emotional harm, because it is true that the latter, emotional being the latter, is way more worse than physical. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, because I know there are men watching too who have issues with their hair, I just want to talk to you about the whole reasoning of the Dragon Comb. I didn't really start noticing that there was something different with my hair until I moved out into the suburbs, middle upper class. And I noticed that the black girls were doing the most conversating about hair. Before then, I could care less how my hair was. I knew my mom did it and it was done, and I trusted her, and that was that. When I got to the elementary school, I noticed the term perm being thrown around, or her hair long being thrown around. But the way it was delivered differently outside of a white girl's hair being long. You know what I mean? A white girl, just common sense, unfortunately, you're conditioned, and it's true, per se, more or less, that their hair is naturally long, so you don't think anything of it because you're so used to seeing it. So where's the wow factor at? But when African American girls such as myself came to the school, there was a wow factor that my hair was long. I'm like, is that issue or what? I never really paid attention to the quality or the grade or the texture or the length of my people's hair until I got there in early elementary. So I'm like, great, is this going to be an issue? Apparently the way they're talking about it in such of a tone that's kind of stanky, I've got something else to deal with. Should I be worried about this? Yes or no? Should I talk to this about my mom being she's the one who do my hair? Should I start bringing it up? I noticed that African American girls either have braids, all those things in their hair, the little, what they used to call them, when I grew up they were called knockers. Not these, but knockers. But I still didn't like calling them that because it reminded me of this. I'm like, why would you call something that goes in your hair knockers? Anything affiliated to a sexual organ in a little girl's hair, hello. Then my mom called them balls. I'm like, that don't help neither. You know, I don't want to wear this crap in my hair. Those little things and barrettes and crap. But I figured since my mother was the stylist of my hair, I should refer this information that I learned to her about what is a perm. I don't want braids. And how come some of the girls' hairstyles look more cooler than mine? Referring to my African American side, I noticed that even when their hair wasn't braided or relaxed, they had these other funky looking cool hairstyles that kept them free of the stupid barrettes and bows and ribbons and those little things, those, unfortunately, those marbles that they tied in their hair to keep their hair divided. I hated all that stuff. It was just too much. It was too tight and I just didn't like it. I saw that they didn't have all that crap in their hair, so I brought it up to her because I'm like, hey, I don't like that stuff in my hair. I didn't. It was too tight. It took up too much time. And I just never liked it. I like to look at the ornaments for hair, but I didn't want them in my hair. Maybe I'll put some visuals so people can really, so you guys can really understand what I'm talking about for the ones who aren't familiar. Visuals help with what I'm explaining. So I never liked that stuff in my hair, but I never thought to bring it up until I came to another school. Until I went to a school that wasn't in the inner city from where we met. Unfortunately, my mother didn't really know how to elaborate on certain hairstyles. So I'm like, what am I gonna do now? I guess I'm just stuck. My mother basically said her mom, according to my understanding, really wasn't keen on doing so many hairstyles. Wasn't really fascinated with how most girls know how to do their hair and all the styles and the edges and the curls and the braids and stuff. So therefore, her mother's lack of interest and or knowledge passed down to my mom, and now it's on to me. But before all that, she said she didn't really know how to do all those other styles, and I was too young to have a chemical relaxer. I kind of felt around the chemical relaxer because that didn't make sense to me at the time. I really didn't know what it was. Except I heard it thrown around the beauty salon all the time. You know, girl, get a perm because it make your hair straight. I saw the results, but I didn't like the process. It didn't seem right, so I didn't want that, period. But I did want my hair to look tame. I did like the straightness in which it provided. I did adore that about it. I liked it. The end factor of what a relaxer can make our hair look like. So I kept that in mind for years later because I'm like, I want my hair to be straight like that. It looks neater to me, and I don't have to have all that crap in my hair like the ornaments and barrettes and BS. And it seemed like it'll make my day-to-day easier, so I just didn't bring up the relaxer anymore till later on in line. But I sure as heck told her I didn't like all those braids, not only because they're too tight. I'm just not a fan of braids. Not saying I'm disowning the continuity of my ethnicity. I'm not. I like braids. I like how they look on females, but they're not for me. I don't like all those lines in my head, and I don't like that when my hair is braided down to my scalp, it lacks the freedom to just let it flow. You know, it just stayed. It's like it's in prison. So braids were not for me neither. So regardless of the fact, my mom wasn't good at doing that anyways, but I didn't want that. But I did like the other styles I seen other chicks wearing where their hair required less accessories. Man, she didn't know how to do that too. That's what she said. And in the small world of me, I didn't really think to ask who else could do that beyond my world. You know, my mom has sisters and stuff, but I mean, that could be an inconvenience too, having to go over there, I'm guessing, over there every week to do that. You know, and time consuming perhaps for her to have me go over there or them come over to our house to get my hair done in the way that was more pleasing for me. So I just rolled with it for having my hair look all stupid for years. And then there's 4th grade. No, I went to the elementary there in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. And then when we got to 5th grade, that's when our middle school started. So our middle school went from 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So when I got to 5th grade, I guess that was a milestone for her, for me to bring, that was a milestone for her, a stepping stone for me, for my voice not to go unheard and my argument to be brought back to the table that, hey, okay, look, you can't do hair too well, fine. But there's got to be another way, because I cannot go to middle school with having all these stupid parts, bows and ribbons in my hair. It's not that I was trying to act grown, but I just felt inside that that's too babyish. I don't like that. So we came to a happy medium, I guess you could say. And I think in 5th grade, I think I just started wearing my hair split down the middle and 2 pigtails. They didn't look good still. They looked unkempt to me, too frizzy, too puffy. And since I didn't know how to French braid them down to make them look nice and neat to my standards, because she didn't know how to do it, and I tried to practice and it was confusing to me, and I didn't have the patience, and I didn't really have anyone sitting down with me to teach me how to braid and grab the hair like that, and there were no tutorials like YouTube anymore, and I didn't have friends like that. I was stuck with doing my hair. You just, part it down, and I didn't really know how to part. Grab some hair, put it here, grab some hair, put it there. But I didn't even know about the invention really of scrunchies too tough, that there were scrunchies in all different sizes. Big scrunchies, small and medium, and teeny tiny ones that were the size of rubber bands per se, but not rubber bands. I really didn't know about the wonders of those as hair accessories. So I found myself putting my hair in those stupid things again. It was only 2, one on this side and one on the other, but still it kind of downscaled my confidence with my hair, because here I am back with these stupid things in my hair. Even though it was just 2, it was one on this side and one on the other. I really wish I knew how to do my hair, because when I was in middle school, those girls really stepped it up. Some of them did have relaxers, more of them did. I could understand. You're in middle school, you want to look nice and neat. Who wouldn't? I felt the same way, but I still didn't feel comfortable enough for a relaxer, even if my mom let me. But then I realized they were using something else called a pressing comb. I believe I started hearing about that. I'm like, well, I think that's what my grandma used to do. Well, why don't we do that? So it can give it that illustrious look and make it look more manageable, and it wouldn't require me to have to hassle with it. But that didn't happen neither. I mean, I'm just a kid. There's a lot of stuff going on. The world is new to me. And on top of that, I'm still trying to really culturify myself with being mixed with different races, even though I didn't see anything wrong with them. It just was a system overload, because I started learning that they have more things to do in their cultures outside of ours. And then coming up, my life was sheltered. So on top of that, worrying about my hair started to become less and less of a priority. I just gave up the fight with trying to help my mom help me do something more to my hair. And years went by. 6th grade, we tried again. I got a few hairstyles that I got laughed at. Of course, I got dogged. But I will say Patrice Weems, she stood by me in 6th grade when my hair looked hideous. And when my mom tried, she really tried, I guess. And I'm saying that not because I'm holding a grudge. I'm really trying to see. I believe she tried her best to do what she could with my hair. But if you just don't have any talent in that area, there's only so much you can do. But I felt hopeless, because knowing how to do your hair, it just seemed like one of the things a woman should know how to do. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But Patrice Weems really stood by me. I had a horrible hair day in 6th grade, and I had to go through the whole day with my hair looking terrible, and it was done. She never sent me to school with my hair not done, but the style It had all these Princess Layla loops in it. You know how Princess Layla have too? Well, I had like 16 of them, and they were big, and my hair was really long, so it was probably about right here. So imagine about 16 Princess Layla hair things in your hair, and I just wasn't feeling it. Yeah, it eliminated all the barrettes and bows, but it didn't make sense. It just was stupid looking. But I just could say thank you, Patrice Williams. We went to school together. You had my back that day, and that meant a lot because I really didn't know how I was going to get through it. I literally got laughed at, humiliated, and it hurt because I didn't know how to do my hair, and I was a girl, and I was in 6th grade. And all the other girls had cute hairstyles. You know, they knew how to part their hair and have it down in the back and up in the front. You see how simple my hair look now? That's what they were doing back then. And my mom didn't know how to do a hairstyles like that, but she didn't want my hair to be down because she didn't want it to be damaged. For some reason, she thought it would be damaged, or she thought the styles looked too old. So she did know how to do simple things like how I have my hair, but for some reason she was more concerned about my hair than I was, as far as it getting damaged, destroyed, you're not going to take care of it. So lack of faith in me to take care of it. But how could you have a lack of faith in me to take care of my hair before I even had the opportunity to try to do it? And on top of that, you claim you don't even know how to keep it up. So you can't really blame me on not being able to do my hair when you never equipped me with the tools to do it in the first place. That's what I'm saying. I never even got the opportunity to try to even do anything to my hair because I wasn't equipped with the tools. So, and reaching out to other family members was tough because once again we lived a closed, sheltered life. I didn't know that was a bad thing until I got older. I had an older sister, but she was so busy with life, you know, high school and stuff. She wouldn't have time to do my hair, and that's not her place. You know, she's in school, trying to prepare for college. I think she had work and sports. So my mom would have her do my hair sometimes. But I never wanted her to because I could see that it was time consuming for her. She's got stuff to do. Then on top of that, go to work. I like when she did my hair because it looked better. But she never had that time. So I don't hold that against her at all. I'm very grateful for the moments and days she did do my hair. And that was senior year. And she did my hair once in 7th grade in a really cool style that came out in 97, late 96, 97, where the hair was braided in the front just halfway. Then the rest was down like this. Yes, I said I don't like braids, but the thing was, it was only braided from here to about right there, then it stopped. So that was something I can deal with because it kept this part under control. But all this part was out and free. So I didn't feel bound. I didn't feel that my hair was bound. But I knew when the braids got frizzy, I wasn't going to be able to, you know, comb it out, re-grease it, and lay my braids down as tight as hers. So I started feeling defeated in that because my mother didn't know how to braid to the scalp neither. So it's like, what do you do? What's the point in even getting my hair done by my sister? Because in about a week, it's not going to look as fresh as I like, and I don't know how to keep it up. Practice, 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 practice. In my head, I'm like, why should I be practicing on something that should naturally be easy? In my head, as a girl, I thought girls should just naturally know how to do their hair. And then I started looking at the Mexican people, the white people, anybody who's not black or mixed, looking at their hair. I'm like, all they got to do is just get up. Why can't our hair be that easy? You know, and that was discouraging because I'm waking up every morning trying to do something to my hair, knowing it's going to look unsuccessful anyways, make me look like a baby. And I already look really young, even though I was young. And then on top of that, I live a sheltered life. I'm like, there's just no hope here for my hair. So what was the point in having my sister do my hair if I wasn't going to keep it up? It was just, I saw the doom at the end of the tunnel when it came to my hair. So I was like, why even bother? 8th grade, I still had the same battles with my hair. 9th grade, I think maybe in 9th grade, I don't know, I got my first pressing comb at the salon, not at home. I really don't remember. I just keep going back to 12th grade when I remember going to the salon frequently. Why, I don't know why they decided to have an epiphany and have my hair taken care of in my senior year. But that's the first time I think I really do remember going to the salon. 7th, 11th, 12th grade. Late 11th, early 12th. And I don't know what made them decide to let me do that then. But prior to all that time, my hair was in 2 pigtails. And it was not by choice. So a lot of people I went to school and grew up, you know, they probably... I have nothing against lesbianism or anything, but they probably thought I was a lesbian or like girls or bi because the way my hair, you know, just stayed boyish. And that's because I really didn't have any help, and it didn't come simple to me like most people. Doing your hair should come simple. That's what I thought too. For some reason, I just wasn't grasping it, and I didn't have the help. And since we lived a sheltered life, we really couldn't have people come over to help me. So stuck. So speeding back up to end of 11th, early 12th, I started going to the salon every other week to get my hair washed, conditioned, and straightened by this pressing comb invention that my grandma used to use. I liked it because it let my hair look like it was relaxed. It had that straightened out texture that I wanted, so I could easily do my hair like this and part it and make it look pretty. You know, I was pleased about that, but I really didn't know that once my hair sweated, my hair will return back to its natural state. So it was like, well, that's gonna limit me from not wanting to do anything, and I don't want to become a prisoner again to my hair. So I see why girls don't want to get their hair wet when it's pressed, because all that work you gotta put back into it. It's stressful, it's time consuming, and it's aggravating, sad, defeating, and discouraging. What do you do? So when I got my hair straightened out, you best believe I got it done on the weekend. So when I got back to school on a Monday, my hair don't even look like I went to the salon because it's back all frizzy and stuff. It don't even look like I went to the salon, so nobody ever got to see my hair in its glory, period. It just hurt so bad because it was a poor representation of myself and who I was. I was a dork and a geek, yeah, but if I was able to do my hair, I would have been one of those sexy geeks, you know, like I look today, right now. So that your hair, man, your hair is your crown, and just dealing with the struggles of that, it sucked. Having African American hair and no help, and just feeling lost in this whole world of just constantly wondering why we need all this stuff and they don't. Why can't our hair just lay down and die? You know, it made me sad. And no, I'm not being sarcastic. If only sarcasm burned calories. I'm not being sarcastic. This is real life talking. So I never got my hair relaxed until college because my parents wouldn't let me get it relaxed. So I was stuck with having hair, a lot of it, but not being the way I would have loved it to be, to make me look more feminine and more girly, the way I wanted to look at that time. You know, I wasn't giving off the feeling of how I felt on the inside wasn't reflecting my outside. It made me look like a tomboy, like I didn't care for myself, but I did. You know, it gave off the wrong impression. And since I did it all those years from 2nd grade to basically 12th, people probably thought that's just how it was, and it wasn't the case. I didn't have any help. And at that time in high school, I started really realizing that what fake friends and good friends meant. I caught on to that quick, so I started cutting off a lot of people, I believe, my 9th grade year. because I'd rather have mental stability and the peace of mind than a bunch of fake friends or frenemies. You know, before that was even a term. So I just chose to cut people off and keep to myself. Even if it meant losing out on opportunities for social events, social gatherings, and learning how to do my hair. It's just too much of a mental battle to dealing with frenemies and fake friends. The weight was just too heavy on me, so I just chose to just cut everybody off, just stay to myself, and just deal with it as I went. So the texture of my hair was the way I wanted, but doubling back to second grade, early 91, 92, I didn't really start paying attention to my hair and noticing hair was an issue amongst the African American community until I moved out there. And when girls of my color, well, black girls, started saying, why you wear your hair like that? Why don't you keep your hair in different styles? Or your hair long. If my hair was long, I'd be doing this to my hair. Or be long. I'm like, you could. And you got the utilities, the resources, and everything, and the people to help you, and it will look pretty. And I assure you, if I had that, my hair would be like that too. But I didn't want to throw my family under the bus. I just didn't want to talk to them about that because they didn't deserve it, and I didn't want to be their friends like that. So why would I tell them? My mother don't know how to do stuff like that, because the next question will be, don't you got sisters? Don't you have cousins? I'm like, yeah, we do, but according to what I'm seeing, my dad really don't want them over our house. That's information you just don't say. That's how I felt without my family even telling me. So I just chose to be quiet and just sucked it up and cried and just wondered why I just can't have these resources that seem so simple and accessible to every female under the sun except me. I really wanted my hair to be nice. So I'm saying that to say it's a hurtful thing when your hair, your crown, is not the way you desire it to be. Meaning the way you want it, and not a way to just keep up with the Joneses and to fit in. That's what I mean. When your hair, your crown, is not the way you will want it to be to reflect your insides, it hurts, because the way people view you and your hair will make it seem like you're scatterbrained, stupid, crazy, slow, retarded, all those insulting words. Poor hygiene, non-hygienic, don't care, don't know any better, tomboy, lesbian, gay, dyke, bi-curious, all of those things. You know, you have to deal with all the assumptions, because like they say in court, it's not what you can say, is what you can prove. Everything was proving that I was those things, you know. So I remember just crying to myself in my room, like, why can't I just even put my hair in a decent ponytail? A ponytail, why can't I just have a ponytail? I'm cool with that. I could do a ponytail, okay, but it wasn't sleek. You know how you want your hair to just look together and then let it poof out in the back? For some reason, I couldn't manage that neither. I would ask girls that, and they said, oh, I just use Vaseline and water. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not using enough Vaseline and water, so I will put more in, and it would stay. And then like 30 seconds later, 30 minutes later, it would go back looking terrible and then nasty because all the grease is in it. They're like, oh, you didn't brush it down. I'm like, I brushed it down. My scalp is red and I think my hair's starting to come out the cuticle. Oh, I put the rubber band in tight. I'm like, I do too. And I did that, but that hurt. I'm like, so you mean you're walking around here cutting off your circulation with a headache, but you look cute? I can't do that. And plus, even if I wanted to, I'm light skinned, so my mom would have me take it out anyways, because it'd be read as F-U-C-K around here anyway, so I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm like, Lord, why is it so hard for me to just do something simple? I'm not asking for much. I just want a freaking ponytail. Apparently, I've got the hair. long black hair. I just wish my people quit saying stuff like that, because if it wasn't for my long black hair, I really think a lot of the black people wouldn't be taking a place value and want to associate with me, period. That's how I felt, especially in the hair salon. Long black hair, I felt like a freak show, gathered around to see while my long black hair got pressed out. I remember when my hair used to be long down to my butt. I cut that shit off. So why you gathered around me then? Like you're so obsessed or in awe. I didn't like it. I liked going to the salon because it got me out of the house. I like going to the salon because of my hairstylist. She's really nice. And the other workers, they were nice too. But that was it. Because I still couldn't go anywhere. So what's the point of doing my hair? Especially in the summertime. I couldn't go out of the house because, like I said, my life was so sheltered. Dictated, it didn't make sense. It was like, I'm older now. And I've already established the fact and made my peace with I don't have friends now. And my parents wouldn't let me go anywhere, literally. So what's the point of doing my hair if I can't go anywhere, have any friends? Especially can't even have boyfriends. So what's the point now? Do it for yourself. Yeah. But sometimes you want to do it for other reasons too, outside of yourself. You know, getting ready to go on night on the town. But you know, that's just how I felt, and that's how I feel. So going to the salon was a complete waste of time for me. If it wasn't for those ladies there, even going to the salon would have been a hellifying experience. I didn't like the wait time. I didn't like the gossiping customers. Not the ladies who did my hair. I loved them. They were so friendly. I wish they were, related to us. Not for the qualities that they knew how to do hair, but just because they were nice women. But the wait time and the gossiping women waiting to get their hair done, I didn't like being around all that. And then they complain all the time. Like, what are these women complaining about? I'm like, every time I went to the salon, the women were complaining. And they got their hair done every 2 weeks. And they had the money to do it and keep it up. So I would have been so happy if I was able to do that. And then hearing the long black hair when I was your age and this, I'm like, I don't want to be around these resentful women. If you dogging on my hair and talking about how long your hair used to be back in the day, why don't you grow it out? Instead of coming in here getting it trimmed all the time. It was just confusing. So I realized the salon scene wasn't my scene, and it still isn't, except for the workers. I do like the workers. They are always nice. It's just the other stuff I just don't want to deal with. So that's where I stood my senior year. I was homecoming queen, so I was thankful for the salon that day because she straightened out my hair and it looked beautiful. But at the end of the day, it puffed right back up, so it didn't stay looking straight like a Mexican's hair. So I was discouraged and defeated. I was happy and sad at the same time because my hair didn't give off the look I wanted it. So here goes some confidence. Crown had nothing to do with it. It just didn't fit. It didn't finish. My hair was supposed to finish the look, to make it look polished, not the crown, according to me. So my hair didn't look like I wanted. It was so puffy. I was so disappointed. I still had a good time, and I went with Deontay Simon. He was really fun. He was a boatload of fun. So shout out to Deontay Simon too. What's up, man? I had fun, and I'm glad you took me. Cause you made me feel safe. Outside of that, my hair didn't turn out the way I wanted, even though everyone and their mama said I was beautiful. I didn't care because I wanted to look beautiful in the way I wanted to look beautiful, you know? So hair plays an important role. Well, hair played an important role in my life. And I pray to God, you know, that was one of my fears. It's like, Lord, to this day, I'm still not good at doing my hair. But thankfully, I can do simple styles like this, so I won't put my children through the pain and agony that I went through. Because there's so much more to be worried about in life at that age than hair. But if that's, you want to go to school and you want to look presentable, you're gonna not have focus, because there's gonna be those side sneak disses and comments and in your face rejections, and people just coming up to you, why don't you do your hair like this, or you should come over to my house and I can help you. I can tell you this much for sure, when and if I have a daughter, I will let them go to their house, or let the girl come over and help her with her hair and teach her, or I will even pay the money to have my daughter go to a salon just to have lessons on how to do your hair. I will not have my daughter going to school or anywhere not confident because her hair isn't the way she wanted to be. Now, I will forbid up to a certain age the hair relaxers, but there's physical, there's tangible, there's logical evidence to show why it's so wrong, especially at an early age. But outside of that, baby girl, I'm down for even some color, you know, just go to the salon. I will not have my daughter go through the same thing I went through and am still going through with struggling with hair. Yes, I love being an African American female in America, but there are some drawbacks, but that's with any other race. But when it comes down to this hair, I'm just glad more of us have become comfortable with us wearing our hair natural. Not saying I'm with the natural movement, but I am forever grateful that this natural movement, which means accepting who you are with your hair, your thick roots and puffinesses, is acceptable. It's always been acceptable. I backtrack. Natural hair has always been acceptable amongst blacks. Here go the statement I made when I was in 2nd grade, that I like the styles the girls wore without having all those stupid barrettes in their hair. That was beautiful. My mom didn't know how to do that. I'm happy that America, white America, is more, I don't want to say acceptable, but more bendy, more flexible to hiring us with our hair at its state, without us having to feel obligated to wear hair weave if we don't want to, or to relax it if we don't want to. So I can say thank you, America, from the bottom of my heart, for accepting us more with us wearing our hair more natural, because it can be done and look so nice and pretty and elegant. That takes a big weight off of our shoulders, to me, because when I first started working in high school, I felt out of place wanting to have my hair in more natural styles, because I could feel a stigma there. I didn't like the energy, even though I would have been accepted, even though I was accepted. Just growing up, I just felt the space that I'm making, that's the energy that I was feeling at work there, you know. And I just didn't want to deal with that, because I dealt with crap at home of being so sheltered, dealt with crap at school, having a job, having sports. I just how much more can a girl take? And then you didn't really have anybody to talk to, so you kept a lot in. So it's like, I just felt that energy there. And then when my hair was the way I really wanted it to be, the compliments rolled off the tip of the tongue. You know what I mean? Oh, your hair looks nice, beautiful. And now, you know, and in my head I'm like, thank you, and I wish you stayed this way. You just don't know that this stuff costs, so I can't keep going to the salon. You know, things like that. But I just didn't want to have to come to work feeling that neither. It was only so much a girl could take. As I got older, it wasn't as hard to take That was just another thing you deal with. But at that time, that was just something I didn't want to deal with. I can just say I'm just thankful of these more free thinkers, and that's not just amongst our race of people. I mean, the whole pandemic of this world of pandemic, the same thing. But just thank you for being more open-minded to the fact that everybody culture except the black race have issues with their hair. But there are ways we can still look nice and neat without having to put hair weave in our hair or relaxer, and we can still look just as clean, polished, and professional, nice and neat otherwise. That's less crap my daughters will have to worry about, because that's another form of self-hate. Mom, I can't get a job because I know I'm not going to be able to do nothing with my hair. So I just get a lesser job like McDonald's or something, because they take anything and anybody, and your hair don't have to be done. Or I'll just be a janitor because I really can't do my hair. Or I just work behind the scenes because I can't do my hair and I know they're not going to like it, and I might not even get hired. No, stuff like that. You don't have to, you give them a fair shot. So thank you, Lord, from the bottom of my heart. So when and if I have a daughter, she will not have to go through the hair woes. I call this the dragon comb because growing up doing my hair was like a dragon. It was like not knowing how to do my hair was like chasing dragons, I should say. It's just that comb, me and that comb did not get along, and I still wrestle with the comb to this day. But look at my hair right now, it looks presentable, you know what I mean, nice and neat, and it even looks cute. I know, let's say very early 2000s, like 2004 and such, even a woman having her hair like this, who was a woman, was considered baby hairstyles, high school hairstyles, middle school hairstyles. And I got criticized and condoned and talked about so bad when I did wear my hair like this when I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, by someone who was supposed to care for me, because my hair looked like high school girls' hair and it made me look younger. I got talked about bad because I was supposed to be wearing my hair sophisticated hairstyles. I'm like, well, do you have some sophisticated hairstyle money? Silence. I work 2 jobs, raising a child. Do it look like I have money to spare, even if I wanted to go to the hair salon and get my hair relaxed? H no. So I did start relaxing my hair with the box perm. I was capable of doing that successfully, but I still didn't know how to style it, except for in the styles that back then were considered high school age for a woman who was in her mid-20s. You know what I mean? But nowadays, all these women now who are in their late 30s, early 30s and 40s are wearing cute hairstyles, and for some reason, lo and behold, it's acceptable now. F y'all, I was about to throw an F-bomb, because you're not supposed to be judging a woman's hair anyways like that, you know what I mean? And that's more directly to the person. I had a flashback, but that flashback was needed to get a point across to all you beautiful women and men out there who struggle with your hair, because it's not just the women. Men have issues too, and it's weird. Some of the things we are supposed to naturally know, we don't. So it do make life that much harder, more difficult and complex. And you look up and you're 45 and you don't even, and you're still like, I don't know how to do this. And I sure as hell don't want to tell anybody, because it's going to be humiliating. It's not pride. It's just fear of being humiliated for something you felt you should have known. You should know at such a late age in life. have battled with my hair for forever. I've lost my hair. My hair broke out, or got so damaged because I just didn't know how to do it. Life got in the way, so I didn't do it. I was just so driven on surviving and working and keeping a roof over my head after I moved out. The hair was the last thing on my mind. I just was thankful that I had some on my head, so I could be identified as a female, because I'm flat chested. And people could be so ignorant. So there's a lot of things I still had to sort out. Live for myself and forget what people say. And I did, but sometimes when you're weak meaning just at the bottom, down and out, just can't take no more, that's when those comments usually will bother me the most people too. So I'm just happy to have hair on top of my head at that time, roof over my head, strength to go from one job to the next and watch my child, because I really wasn't getting good help then, you know. And you want to figure things out on your own, because I escaped from a dictative family. You know how that is. You don't want to go back to that. You don't want to go back to that. But good mercy, my hair, although it was long and down to past my shoulders at the time, I saw the beauty in it, but I couldn't express it. I'm growing my hair back now to be that length, and it's a struggle. It wasn't a struggle then when I was younger. But I'm happy that it's finally touching my shoulders. And I'm with my husband, who loves and accepts me for me, especially my hair, because when we met, my hair was practically bald. Because I gave up. I'm like, I've got work to do. I don't have time to be, you see how I'm talking to you and dealing with this? I don't have time to be having the inner dialogue to motivate myself to go to work and be sad because my hair don't look like all the other women who have the money, or who knows what they do to get their hair, or they just know how to do their hair. I just shaved it off. That was one less thing I had to worry about, and it made me feel good. So I would either wear wigs or weave. It was enough hair on my head to have a sew in, you know what I mean? But it was short as F-U-C-K, you know what I mean? And I did it for convenience and peace of mind, because I have a child to worry about, work, keeping a roof over my head. My health was starting to feel so bad because of the stress. I know that's what it was. And other conditions that I naturally was born with didn't help neither. So when my husband met me, I was at my worst. And I believe I'll make a separate video just talking about how much my husband helped. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, LGBTQ, it don't matter, because we all human. We all have hair issues. I'm going to continue making videos just explaining my woes with the dragon comb. I still have woes and worries to this day with doing my hair. And I am 34 years old, okay? And I still have issues with trying to part my hair and comb it and braid it tighter to my scalp. I don't hate my mother. I don't resent her. None of that crap. I love my mother dearly. But it goes to show what one generation don't know gets passed on to the next generation. And if they don't have the time, the resources, or the emotional support, or friends to help them, that is going to pass down. And it did to me. So that passed down to 3 generations. Me. I'm choosing to fight harder to break it, because I will not have my daughters go through this. That's one less thing they have to worry about in life. Amen. Amen. And amen.